Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. You guys have been asking me to do a video on somebody else besides myself for a long time, and I know I've been MIA for a little while, but I have somebody here for you. This is Aliza. Say hi! Hi! So we're going to be doing a college party look. We know two things. One, college people go out all the time, so it needs to be something that is going to be quick and easy with very, very, very few steps, and something that's going to last, because if you go out to like college bars and stuff, you know, there's a million bodies in smaller areas, so you're hot, you're sweating. So how to look good for many hours at a time. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So Aliza's skin is very, very normal. It doesn't really have many problems at all, and it doesn't get oily, which is really good. So I'm gonna spray her with some Fix Plus by MAC first. We're going for a sort of dewy look, and because of that, I really like the Fix Plus. I think that it adds some shine to begin with before you put on the makeup. And so we've got that on. And we're going to go ahead and get started on the eyes first. So for the eyes, I'm using Makeup Forever's Aqua Cream in the color 2. It is a gray color, like this. And we're just going to put that all over her eyes. And you can literally use this with your fingers. It's the easiest thing to put on the eyes. So the Aqua Creams are waterproof, obviously, as the name suggests, and you don't have to be clean with it at all because we're going to put stuff on top of this. A little goes a long way with this product. You need very, very little to actually make a point, and it comes in so many different colors. And you can use this in your cheeks as well. Obviously, we're not using a gray on her cheeks, but then I'm using a darker color of the same thing. This is color 1. And it's like a dark gunmetal gray. And I'm layering this right on top. Not all the way though. You're going to just do it on the outside corner, going in about halfway into the eye, but you're going to leave the inside with the light gray. So these Aqua Creams dry pretty quickly, so therefore you have to move really fast if you're going to use them. And that's why I personally like to use a fluffy brush like this, because you're getting less product. If you make a mistake, it's easier to take off as well. And then after that, we're going to go into, this is a glitter by MAC. I honestly don't even know the name of it, and I think it's discontinued. But it's super, super sparkly. It's like an in-between silver gold sort of color. And I'm just going to pick it up with a flat shader brush like this. I'm just going to pop this all over the eye, starting with the inside corner first. I chose these particular products because you can skip an eyeshadow base and eyeshadow paint pots and stuff like that if you're using cream products to begin with, because they don't crease, they don't come off. And I know when I was in college, I don't want to spend hours and hours getting ready, so if you can do things that are quick and easy but look just as good, those are probably the best options. So when you're working with glitter, you can see that so much fell down. That's why I didn't want to do the face first, because you're going to ruin what you put on. I'm going to use a mixture of vanilla and shroom. It's these two eyeshadows right here, just because she's on the lighter side, so you don't want to use golds. You want to use silvers on people with her skin color. So I'm going to put that just on the brow bone. Alright, first what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a blue eyeliner. This is the eyeliner stylo by NARS. It's called Blue Bayou. And it's just a felt tip. Felt tips are my favorite. They're the easiest to put on. And plus blue looks really good with silver. Then for the lower lash line, we're going in with Petrol Blue Eyeliner by MAC. It's a darker blue than the NARS one that we just used, but it's also got sparkles in it, so it's pretty. Okay. I'm literally just going to put this just in the outer corner of her eyes. Okay, so we're going to wipe off the under area as well, because since Petrol Blue had glitter, that also kind of comes apart sometimes. And I think it's been discontinued by MAC, actually, if I'm not mistaken, which really sucks because all the people that I've done makeup for that I've used that on have always asked me what that product was and where they can get it from, but I don't think you can get it anymore. I'm pretty sure Urban Decay would have something similar if you guys were interested. Now we're going to go in and do the face and concealer, then we'll come back and do the tear duct area and finish up the eye. So for the face, normally she uses Studio Fix foundation by MAC. What color?
Not sure. You can look at it.
What was it, NC 30, 35, something like that? She uses NC 35, and it's a pretty dead-on match, but since we're going for a dewier look, I'm not using Studio Fix because you guys should know that Studio Fix is a very matte foundation, which is great for every day and like long wear because it'll stay on like no other, but I'm not using that for a night out. Plus, it's not going to photograph that well, so do not use that for photography. So I'm going to go in with the NARS Orgasm Illuminator. This is what it looks like. And I think there's 4 different colors. I got this because it's got that peachy glow and it would look really good on her skin. But you can get different colors based on the person's skin color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this all over first. There's a lot of debate on this because you can mix this into your foundation as well. But the way that Francois NARS says to use it is to layer. He says that his products are not used or not made to be mixed, they're made to be layered. So I'm going to go in and do it the way that he would want you guys to do it. And if you're absolutely terrified to do this because you've got oily skin, then you can always do it with powders on top of your foundation. Then we're going to go in with Graftobian's HD foundation. I'm just going to mix a couple. This is the Super Palette Warm. It's got 18 different colors. Obviously, you don't need all 18 if you're not a makeup artist, but you can also get these in 5 or 6 different shades or your individual colors. So for her, what I like to do is I put this up close to the person's face and kind of see like what their darkest colors look like and what their lightest colors look like. You guys know as a makeup artist, you're not going to use just one color all over your face ever. And so we're going to stick with that theory. I'm going to use this, I think, for all over her face. Yep, that's a pretty great match for her. It looks like the majority of her face is that color, and that would be Buttermilk. And I always put this on like pretty thick across the face, and then we'll blend it out. So I'm going to put this right in the center of her face where you want her to look the lightest. I'm going to go in with the color Desert Sand, which is just the color right after. It's like 1 shade darker. I'm going to put that in the bottom of her face, like where the sun would naturally tan you and so you would become a little bit darker. But then now you guys know we're obviously going to go in with a much darker color. It's going to look crazy, but I'm going to go ahead and use a mixture of these 2 colors down here. They're very, very dark, but once mixed in, it's not going to look that way. Those are Burnt Amber and Pecan. I'm just going to draw in some areas that I want to look darker. The peripherals of the face is where the sun would naturally tan you, and so that's what we're going to concentrate on. Another thing that you guys can do to make your skin even dewier, which I'm going to go and do for her because she can handle it. So I'm spraying MAC Fix Plus on a stippling brush, just like this. So it gives you a little bit of wetness on there, and then we're going to blend all of this makeup. By spraying the Fix Plus, your brush is going to move a lot better as well, and because it has a little bit of moisture to it, you know? For her under eye area, obviously I'm going a million shades lighter. I'm going for that color right there, which is, it's called Temptress, and it's in the same palette. Okay. I'm going to put that on just like right here. So now you guys should be able to see that there is some shine to her face. That's what we wanted. We're going to keep it that way. And before we powder, I always think you should powder regardless of how dry or oily your skin is. That's the only way your makeup's going to stay on. But before we powder, I'm going to go ahead and bronze up her cheeks because her eyes are so dark. We want her to have like a super sun-kissed glow. And instead of putting so many powder products on her, I want to stick with more creams. They're going to look really good on her type of skin. So I'm using this NARS Multiple. This is the color. It's actually a bronzer. It's called Cap Vert. And you guys know multiples can basically be used on every part of your face. You can use it as lipstick, you can use it as eyeshadow, you can use it as blush, bronzer, whatever. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place it like on her cheeks. That is such a good color for you.
I'm so excited.
Looks good. Your skin is just like the perfect type of skin to carry off stuff like this. Most people can't. Then I'm going to go in and powder her face. I'm going to be using Graftobian's HD Powder Palette. This is also warm. If you guys want to invest in any of these palettes, I would always get the warm or the neutral. Don't go with the cool because they're way too pink-skinned, pink-colored for most complexions. I'm mixing these two. It's honestly the only two colors that I really use. That is Soft Ivory and Buttercream. And I'm going to sweep that down the center of her nose, right into the middle of her forehead, and on the sides of her nose where she could potentially get oily. Of course, I know that she is not going to, but if you want to powder, that's the area that you should powder. Look up really quick. And of course, you want to set the under eye concealer, so that's something that I would powder based on what you're using. If you guys are looking for a concealer that does not crease at all, the MAC Pro Longwear is the only one that I've used that's that good. But you should still be able to see some dewiness. That's why I didn't even like put on powder over her cheeks. I just put it right in the center of her face where she could potentially get oily. Then I'm going to go on top of that bronzer with some blush. This one is Sunbasque by MAC. It is a super orangey, warm color. And that would layer really well. Smile. I'm going to go in with Giella Custom Blend Cosmetics highlighter. This is I Am Glam, and it's by Mario Dedivanovic, which you guys already know. And I love this product. With any highlighters that are powder, you want to take very, very little. So I'm literally taking whatever was in the cap.
Mika, you know, most of your viewers who watch this probably don't have that much money to invest in makeup. So, like, what would they do to, you know, substitute kind?
It's just about the colors. You can get the same products that I'm using.
Right.
That's drugstore.
Okay.
You really can.
Okay.
The only one product that I would...
Because that's college students, you know, we
Right.
have other stuff to pay for, so...
Exactly. I would say the only one product that you shouldn't get that's drugstore that I would invest more money in is foundation.
Okay.
That's the only thing. Not even that there's anything wrong with drugstore foundations, it's just some of the best ones that I know are the ones that are not drugstore.
Right.
And so that's the one thing I would spend money on. Colors, like blush and stuff.
And foundation's like everyday wear, so you should have a good one for that.
Exactly. And then for her lips, I'm going to go in with a very nude color. This is one that's our favorite. It's also 25 by Inglot that I always talk to you guys about. I'm mixing this one and this one. Unfortunately, I can't take these out to tell you what the colors are, but I know that's 25. I don't know what these two are. And online on the Inglot website, they're horrible. Like, they don't list their product names at all. All I know is that it's a lipstick in pan form, and you can always ask them to find you a nude one because I could not find this on their website. So I'm mixing 25 and this one right here. So eyebrows are obviously super important. I just brush it out with a spoolie. And the only thing that I really even think that we need to do with her eyebrows is just make sure that it matches the end of her her eyelid. So it just needs to be a little bit longer. As far as how thick and stuff they are, they're perfect. So just make sure you're going really angular to make sure that it's meeting where you need it to go. You need your eyebrow to extend out basically at the same angle as your eyeliner. So you would take your brush from the corner of your nose to the top of your eyelid and up diagonally. So wherever it ends, that's how long your eyebrows are supposed to be, and nobody really has perfect eyebrows. It's always one eyebrow is better than the other usually. Tear duct, I'm going to go in and do this now. The reason for why is because I had to put on concealer. I always drag it into the bridge of the nose area, And you need to press that in with powder before you put on the tear duct color. Otherwise, when I go back over with concealer, it's going to come off anyway. I'm using the Naked palette, and I'm using Sidecar. This is literally one of my favorite eyeshadows for inner tear duct highlighting. I just think it looks so pretty. Look up. Just going to place it in there. I don't really use no black like anywhere. And that's what looks good, because you're so light, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You're done. I'm going to zoom into the face really quick.
Okay. Wait, let me let my hair down.